Salute, Nick family. Welcome to the Queen's Court. We got a lot to cover today. Tonight, we're going to cover last week's games against Memphis and Detroit. We're going to cover tonight's game versus Orlando. And then we're going to cover our next three games this week against Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Cleveland. So we have a lot to get into. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification button so you'll be notified anytime we go live or drop a video on this channel. That includes the Queen's Court. Of course, the controversy, the NBA report with Ron and John from Still Knick fans, anything put out by Tony Crow from Knicks and Bruises, and of course, pregame, postgame, morning shoot around, Coach's Corner, any video or event that Simeon Russell, the creator of this channel, is doing. You want your notifications on so that you'll be notified of any of it. And just a special shout out to Sim, who's traveling right now. Travel safe for just the awesome event he put on at Legends, where we did our live pre and post game, and then the event at Madison Square Garden. If you haven't had an opportunity to hang out with the MBK fam and fellow family of podcasters, if you get an opportunity, please do. The vibes are just off the chain, and just keep in mind, where you can sit on a panel with somebody for years and not even meet them in person. I met Josh for the first time in person. Shout out to Josh Hartwell, who I met for the first time. Just an awesome experience. Let me get Tony Crow in here. Hey Tony, how are you?
Peace, Queen.
How's everything?
I'm good. Let me adjust my mic. Excuse me. All right, we should be good.
Yeah, I think I don't have my overlay. Ah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. DJ Shuttle should be joining us soon, but we got last week's two games. Then we got the game tonight. Then we got the three games next week, and we got like an hour.
All right, let's
All right,
let's
we got
let's
so
squeeze it in.
let's get into it. Um, let's just start with last week's games against. I don't even have the team there. My mistake. Memphis, where we lost in overtime. Quentin Grimes didn't play. Randall, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, efficient from the field. Reddish, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, shot 60% from the field. This is just a refresher. Hit the three-pointer to send us into overtime. Hartenstein, who played 40 minutes that game, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a block. We didn't shoot great from the field or the three-point line, 40.4%, 24.3% from the three-point line. However, we was right there in that game for the taking. Um, and for them, Morant played well, Adama played well, Contra played well. I remember in the pregame, we was like, who are these guys? We soon found out once the game started. And they didn't shoot well either. 39% from the field, better than us from 34%, but that was Memphis. Then Detroit. And people could say, oh, it's only Detroit, we should have won. Yes, we should have won. But the fashion in which we won, I think,
Mhm.
tells us a little something about this team. It was a blowout, and it should have been 130 to 106. Brunson, 17.6 assists, 55% from the field. Barrett with a nice bounce back game, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 53% from the field. Quickly, 20.7 assists, 7 rebounds. And you could say, a lot of his scoring came in garbage time. You could say that. However, in that first half, where the game was still in contention, it was still a game, so to speak. I thought Quickly played well. I thought his decision making, he played under control during the first half. So it's not always about the stats, the end of the game stats for me. It's about watching different parts of the game and how a player played when the game was really close. And I thought he played well. We shot 52.6% from the field, 42% from three. It was great.
Mm.
They killed us. Then Bogdanovich played well and Ivy played well. But go ahead, Tony.
No, I just wanted to highlight quickly the big thing for me was the 7 assists and the 7 rebounds.
Right.
You know,
Correct.
uh, Tibbs said it, and I believe it as well. I know the shooting it's gonna turn around for him regardless. You know, he has these stretches, and to me, it's really about decision making. But
Mm.
when you could affect the game with your rebounding and your playmaking, you can stay on the floor even if you're shooting bad. So let's hope that all around game continues from quickly more than me being concerned with the shooting.
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about, I'm going to ask, was there any player that stood out for you? Was there any part of any of the team wise, what stood out for you? But since we're on quickly, let's just continue. He's been all up and down Twitter, a major subject on Twitter. Do you think it's overblown? Um, that he's a ball hog, that he doesn't pass to Cam, um, that he's not a point guard. All of the things that's been on Twitter, and even in the chats, the various chats over the first two games. Do you think it's being overblown?
I think it's being overstated, and yes, overblown as well, because he's a ball player for sure. You know what I mean? He works. He's a gym rat. You know what I mean? Like it's easy. Like you could go with any player you choose and just start nitpicking and trying to find flaws in what they can't do. Um, I say let's focus on what he can do. You know what I mean? And like I just stated, if he's affecting the game in other areas, 7 assists. That can you really be a ball hog? He misses passes, yes. You know what I mean? It's a flaw, but he's also gotten better at it. You know what I mean? Like look at his growth. Look at
Mhm.
where he started from year one to now. So I do think it's overblown, and I'm a victim of it as well. You know what I mean? Like I was not talking very highly of him after game one.
Mhm.
Um, but I try to be even keeled at the same time. So you know what I mean? Let's look at all perspectives when we analyze these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, for me, my main issue is his decision making. I think that I think he's a good player. I think he's a player that we're gonna need if we want to have the success that we're going to have. It doesn't matter to me whether he's a point guard or a shooting guard. It doesn't matter to me whether he's a six man or he's a starter. None of that matters to me. I see the improvement in his playmaking. I see the improvement in his defense. For me, the number one thing I'm on quickly about is his decision making. At this, I want to see improvement in your decision making, whether you're playing on the ball or off the ball, whether you're the sixth man or you're starting
Whether Derrick Rose is on the floor with you or not.
or not. I just need you to make good decisions. That's that's it. That's my only issue with Quick. And some games he does. Like in that Detroit game, he made good decisions. And then there's some games when he doesn't. I just need a little more consistency on the decision making end. But the rest of it, I'm not, you know, too caught up because of his decision making is the only reason I don't like to see him at the point. It's because it's not about whether or not he can play make. He can. He's gotten better. It's the decision making. Um, with Quick. So um, we shall see. And just briefly, we got limited time. I don't really see the whole IQ cam thing. Do you see it?
I started it.
Oh, you.
I started it. But
You might
but
not have been the right person to ask, but go ahead.
but but even when I said it, it was me acknowledging that Grimes can fit in any type of role, starters, bench, whatever the case. He can fit in seamlessly. My thing between Cam and Quickly, they both need the ball in their hands. They both to be, you know, at their best.
Mhm.
Um, Cam needed assertiveness. Quickly needed to kind of be toned down a little bit. You know what I mean? But I feel like if initially I thought the competition was Cam Grimes, at some point it just dawned on me maybe it's quickly Cam because of what how they're utilized. You know what I mean? So that was the reason I had brought that up a few games back or before the season started. Um, so I mean that's my reasoning behind it. But Grimes has been out, so both guys have been utilized. So when I brought it up, it's a question of when everyone's healthy, everyone's at their peak. Is it an 11-man rotation now, or who's it going to be between to fall out of the rotation? So that's what I was saying.
Right. I see DJ Shuttles in the chat. I could have swore I sent him the link, but let me send it again. Let me send it again. All right, DJ Shuttle, I just sent it again. All right. Anybody else these past two games that stood out for you, or anything else, whether that's
Well,
rotations, our offense, our defense, anything?
I'll point out Cam again. I mean, game one, obviously his best game as a Nick. Hit some big shots, big moments as a Nick. And
Mhm.
then game two, what I enjoyed was, or what I liked was, he was still assertive. He was still aggressive. He didn't shoot as well, you know what I mean, but he wasn't hesitating to put a shot up, and that's what we need from him, moving forward. I think he's finding himself on this team, and I'm looking forward to see where he ends up.
Yeah, no doubt about it. DJ Shuttle, I can't get this right. I sent
All
the wrong
aboard.
link, but I'm glad you showed up in the chat and I was able to resend it.
Yeah, I had a little delay response to even think to do that. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But then I said, well, let me make sure it's live. You know what I mean? So
Right,
in
right.
any case, we here. It's the pregame.
No
It's
doubt.
game 1 and 2 summary. So I mean, I'll just piggyback right there where you were, Tone. Salute to Tone, Steph in the chat. Um, yeah, I mean, I was saying all along, like I really hope Cam would step it up. And, sometimes it just happens like, preseason and practice don't do it, then the lights come on and a player
Hmm.
steps up. And players that were amazing in practice and preseason don't flourish as much when the lights come on for real, for real. And Cam, to his credit, he stepped up. And I had been saying all along, I concurred with you about Grimes fitting in any type of lineup, and it was all about Grimes and Cam. That was the bottom line. Because what I did not want to see again was this quickly rose Grimes lineup in the second unit. Yeah, I just don't want to see that lineup. And I just don't want to see that small backcourt and Grimes playing out of position at small forward. I just don't think it's healthy for the team. And Cam playing well is the best thing that could happen because he could play some minutes with RJ and Brunson. B, if RJ needs a break, you don't got to feel like you got to play RJ 40 minutes a game. You can get quality from RJ. And I had been saying in the summer, man, I really hoped he'd be the sixth man of the year. Like he'd be in competition for that. So I'm happy that he's doing well. And to me, that's my biggest standout. And for all the Randall haters, Randall shooting efficiently. He's shooting efficiently. What can you do with this guy? He's doing his job. So and he seems to be sharing the ball quite well. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I mean that's my next question. Just in general, any particular player. Remember, we got 1 hour to get through whatever, so I'm putting it all together. Any particular player or any particular aspect of our play stood out for you during those first two games: the overtime loss to Memphis and the blowout win against Detroit.
I mean, for me, it all starts with Brunson because you got the leadership at the point guard. So everything we wished, everything we prayed, everything we hoped, everything we paid for, is
Mhm.
even in a loss, it showed value. Even when he didn't shoot a great percentage, still, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
mean, granted, we don't want to be Russell Westbrook 0 for 11. We don't want to do that. But even when he didn't shoot great, he still impacted the game in a positive way. He still had leadership. He still had decent defense, and most importantly, people seem like they knew where they were supposed to be, and that's a byproduct to me of the point guard. And
Right.
so, I mean, everything else is great, but that's number one, two, and three for me.
Right.
I concur. Stability at that point guard position, it stabilizes the whole team. So
No doubt about it. I mean, and like you guys said, even when he didn't shoot well, so against Memphis, 7 for 18, 38.9%, 1 for 4 for 3, you could still see, his stabilizing influence on the team. And he got into early foul trouble. Was it that game, the Memphis game, or was it the Detroit game? One of those games he got into um early foul trouble. And so he wasn't able to play. He played less minutes in the first half than he usually would. But in any
I want
event,
to say the first game because I remember. Obviously, I was watching it on TV. So yeah, first game.
yeah. I think Quick came in really quick. But yeah, I like what Brunson is bringing to the team. We're definitely settled. Um, and I talked about it on Knicks and Bruises, and I got to bring it up here. I'm loving my guy Randall. I'm loving what Randall is doing. Listen, I was on him about his attitude last year, um, but I wasn't ready to give up on him because he's a talent, and you can't So I was really wanting to see him with a point guard. It's only 2 games. Everything we talk about is only 2 games. We get it, but I like what I'm seeing so far, even when he's handling the ball. Because I remember saying, once we get Brunson, there's no need for Randall to touch the ball at all to bring it up the court.
You
Period.
was adamant about it.
Right? Period. Point blank. Right? But now, Brunson brings it up and initiates the offense the most. But Randall is the secondary ball handler. Even Fournier will bring it down some. RJ will bring it down some. But Randall's really the secondary. And I'm not mad. Why? Because he's not turning the ball over. And he's making good decisions and quick decisions. All that holding and quick decisions. So I'm happy with Randall right now. And let's see if it continues. He's leading us in scoring at 19.5 points a game, pretty much at his average, but on less shots because he's shooting well.
50%. Gotta love it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think he's even shooting well from 3. Is he?
I
Probably
mean,
not.
he's
I
all
think
he's also he's also a good star from three as well.
okay. All right. So yeah. And the other thing is, and just team wise, I'm happy that we've so far, it's still early. We've been
Assistant.
able our assists are up, and the pace that we're playing with is continuing from the preseason,
Mhm.
right? And hopefully, that continues.
And just to wrap up those Randall numbers, 50% from the field, 44 from three, 78 from the free throw line, 3 assists per game, only 1.5 turnovers per game. Hello.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If we get Randall at 2 turnovers per game or less with these numbers, I mean, the 44 from three is a little bit aggressive to be wishing for. But if the field goal percentage and the free throw percentage stay at those numbers, which I think are reasonable, and that low turnover number, then we solid. Quickly, not IQ quickly, but quickly, my guy, Baby Joker. Hello, hello,
Yeah.
nine
Yeah.
rebounds a game.
Yeah. He's
And
leading the
see, this is
league in
what I
our
knew.
team in rebounder.
I mean, I don't know if I saw some people commenting, in the preseason, like he wasn't aggressive enough or his defense wasn't this enough. I'm like, all right, let's see when the games start. Let's see where he's at, and I think he's off to a pretty smooth start.
And Brunson, 15 assists, 7.5 assists per game, 0 turnovers per
0,
game.
turnovers. Yeah, the Knicks are actually number one in the league in a list assist to turnover ratio.
Love it.
Um, yeah, number one in the league in assist to turnover rate. We're just not turning the ball over, and we're assisting. Matter of fact, the percentage of shots that we're assisting on is in the top, definitely the top 10. May even be more than that. So we're doing well. I like the way our offense is moving. I don't think we are featuring any one player. The ball is moving. If you're hitting your shots that night, you're going to be the leading scorer. We're not making a concerted effort to go to RJ, a concerted effort to play through Randall. We're just moving the ball. And if you got an open shot, take it. You know, Another thing I like seeing is Fournier, how he's playing this. He gets the ball, he brings the ball up the court. You see him moving around, you see him handling the ball a little more. He's not just waiting right there, on 3 point
Catch and
line,
shoot.
catching for a shoot, waiting for a shot. So and,
Right.
and not just him, everybody is more involved in the offense. It's really good. It's really good to see. And as a matter of fact, I put this all the way in the back, but I just want now this is early, right? Everything is early, but I gotta say that. Our defensive stats right now, all the way to the far right through 2 games, we're fourth in the league. Preseason we were fourth. Last season we were 11. Our opponent field goal percentage first. Opponent 3-point percentage fourth. Rebounds third. This is us anyway. The rebounds, offensive and defensive, this is usually us anyway. Turnovers 12, second in the league. And offensively, I know this is a lot, but our offensive rating right now through 2 games is sixth in the league. Now, part of it, we went into an overtime game and scored 13 points or something like that. Then we played Detroit and scored 130 points. So that's why it's important for me to go through this week with Orlando and Charlotte and Cleveland and Milwaukee. Then when we're back here next Monday and we're looking at these stats, we're going to have a better sense of who we are as a team, a better sense of our defense, a better sense of um, our offense.
Yeah.
Um,
A bigger sample size.
it's going to be a bigger sample size, but a bigger sample size with some tougher teams too, right?
Yeah.
And don't sleep on Charlotte when we play. I know we play in Orlando next. We're going to get into Orlando right now. Charlotte is 2-1. Tibbs' brother coaching the team, and Clifford. They're going to be prepared. They're going to be prepared. Sorry, I got the toddlers in the house, and they want to do their own thing. I'm trying to get through the door.
That's what happens. They see you occupied.
I know.
Freedom.
Anyway, let's.
I can't wait. 1-1. This is where I thought we would be, and I can't wait to listen. Like I said before the season started, listen. You lose to Memphis, you have a tough game. I respect it. You lose to Detroit, I'm gonna be a little pissed off. So we are where I thought we would be. We are who I thought we were. We got to beat Orlando though. It's like listen, you got a lot to prove this year. There's no time for trap games. Game 3, it's too early for trap games. Like you gotta Detroit, they needed to get beat like they stole something, just the way they did. Orlando, they need to get beat like they got their hand in the cookie jar tonight. Okay, and we gotta set the tone out here. That's it. Are you on mute there, Steph?
Talking about Orlando, let's get right to them. Pre-game preview. We play them tonight, 7:30 at Madison Square Garden. We're 1-1. They're 0-3. We're eighth in the standings right now. Listen, just 2 or 3 games. So I'm not going to get too much into the standings. The offensive rating and our defensive rating, we're both 7th in the league. They're 22nd in offensive rating, 20th in defensive rating. But again, it's real early in the season. Last game they started Cole Anthony, Terrence Ross, France Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. Banchero is the rookie power forward. He's leading them in scoring with 23.3 rebounds a game. Wendell
Nice.
Carter Jr. is actually, let me see if I can get that. Wendell Carter Jr. is leading them in assists at 3 point at 3.3. But let's just talk about the matchups actually.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, let's talk about the matchups. Um, briefly, Cole Anthony and Jalen Brunson. What do you think about that matchup and who wins that matchup and why?
I'm going with Brunson. I gotta amend my comment from Knicks and Bruises. This is not the matchup of the night, but I definitely like this matchup. I like Brunson winning, but I like the fact that Cole Anthony is in a slouch, especially against the Knicks, especially at the Garden. So yeah, I like this matchup. Brunson's not the kind of guy that's gonna really take anyone lightly.
Right.
So I think he'll be prepared, and I think we might have our best Brunson game tonight.
I'm gonna double
So
down
so
on.
so far.
I'm gonna double down on your best matchup because ain't nothing happening with the other matchups. So so I'm gonna double down, Tone, and say I'm gonna go all in with the chips and say I think you're right. I think that is the best matchup. That's the matchup to look for because Cole Anthony, he a spirited young guy. He gonna come in here trying to have something to prove. Grew up here as a
The, s-
little youth.
the
So
sons of ex Knicks.
yeah, so he's gonna be coming in here with his chest out, looking to you know put his name in the highlights and all that. And Jay Brunson is, like you said, he don't take nobody slightly. He's gonna be coming in with his A+ game, and I think he will have his best game, and I think that is the matchup to watch. Paolo, yeah, he's doing his numbers, but Randall kind of got that like yo, you my son kind of attitude. So I could just see him pushing the rookie around a little bit tonight, even if he gets some shots.
hmm 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 Terrence Ross and Fournier.
This is nice because former teammates. Uh, Fournier should get up for this. He likes to play well against his former teams. So I'm looking for another breakout performance from Fournier tonight as well. So I got Brunson and Fournier both having their best games of the season tonight.
Mm,
3 games in, not of the whole season
right,
so
right, right.
far.
So far,
There's so
But
many.
Ross is no slouch either. You
No,
know what I mean? He
Ross is
could
no
light
slouch.
us up. He could light us up as well.
he had. I think he
This
had
is a
20 something last game.
sneaky dangerous team. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have to
No,
really win this game with defense because all these guys are capable of going off potentially.
And they played Boston pretty well too. I mean, they're 0-3, but I mean, they played Detroit the first game. They played Boston, and they played another good team. I think it was Cleveland. I have to check if anybody in the chat knows who the three teams that Orlando played. I know one of them was Detroit, one of them was Boston, and I want to say the last one was Cleveland, but I'm not quite sure of that. So I don't. It's a game that we should win, but I don't think we should come in here thinking we got it in the bag.
and that
Put it
and
that
that's
Coming
and that's
coming
my
off
point.
last year, we can't do that, right?
right,
And,
right,
and that's my point. Like I can't be hearing Tony telling me, "Oh, sneaky." Like no, everybody's on high alert right now because it's the Knicks. We got a lot to prove, and we ain't proved nothing yet. And we got to set a certain tone out here. So should
no
nobody
doubt,
be sneaking up nothing against this team? This
no
team needs
doubt.
to be ready and prepared.
Right.
Now, what I like about the Ross matchup is while he is capable of having an awesome game and highlights, and there's so many other far superior shooting guards in the league. I kind of feel like Evans having I don't want to say a night off, but you know, it's not like it's James Harden or something like that tonight. So I'm happy for that.
It was the Hawks. Thank you, Ball. It was the Hawks, and they played the Hawks pretty well. Also, I mean, what I will say is that listen, Terrence Ross is capable. So if you get a Fournier that's not the feisty Fournier, as Tony Crow likes to say, and he's slouching, Ross can get hot. Once he gets hot, it's a wrap. So Fournier has to be, he has to be on it. I think he had 26, 20 something points against Atlanta. Um, so Fournier has to be on his tone. And this is a matchup. This is not my matchup of the night, but this is a matchup that I'm looking forward to seeing. And that's Franz Wagner, second year play out of Michigan, I want to say, and RJ Barrett, who was lights out in preseason, didn't have a great game against Memphis, bounced back against Detroit. Franz Wagner has size. He's a pretty good defender as well. Your thoughts on this matchup?
I like it too. I like it too. Um, Dad, I know
Yeah,
y'all
pretty
about to
good matchup.
y'all about to kill me though. Three Knicks are about to have their best game of the season tonight because I think RJ is gonna have his best game of the season tonight as well, out of the first three games. I do like the matchup. He's a tough he's a tough guy, Wagner. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna back down. He's not gonna give it to RJ. But I think RJ takes it tonight. I think RJ takes it tonight.
RJ has to be up to the task on defense as well
Yes.
because Franz Wagner, he can shoot it, he can put it on the floor. He's just an all-around good basketball player. So RJ Barrett is going to have to be up for the basically, he's going to have to, like Randall, who we'll get to, he's going to have to play both sides of the floor today.
Yo, if RJ, listen, I like Brunson doing his numbers. I like Fournier doing his numbers tonight. And I think it's a night, where it's like, who was it recently? It was Kawhi that said it after one of the last games. Like, I just need to be a star in moments. Yo, RJ, we need you to be a star in certain games. This is a night where I don't need you to be a star, actually. I need you to be a star in defense tonight. Don't let this guy be coming to the Garden and have, his career high and, these things that happens to us. We need you, RJ, to shut down this guy. Don't let him get hot. Play the defense that we need to keep him, 14, 16 points, something like that, reasonable. And I think tonight we let Brunson, we let Fournier, we let Randall lead us in scoring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely for
And
sure.
why not?
Yeah.
I got my rally
Wagner,
shirt. I got my rally shirt on, Sam. Hello, nothing but Knicks. I got my rally shirt on. This is the 120 or better t-shirt I'll be wearing. I wear this, we score 120 or better. Just lock it in.
I'm about,
and
about to order
Wagner,
one now.
Wagner is taller than him. Yeah, talking about these shirts, I've made up my mind that there's enough content creators out here that I'm fans of who has merchandise. I don't need to buy another Nike shirt. I don't need to buy another Puma t-shirt. I don't need to buy any of that. I'm gonna be walking around with Legion of Knicks, good vibes only, nothing but Knicks, Knicks and Bruises shirts. There's no need for me to buy the other shirts. There's just enough of us. I saw that when we was at. I was like, why am I wearing a Nike shirt? Why? You know, I'll be doing the rounds soon. They rip mad expensive though, so I might have to do like one every 2 weeks or so. But I'll get it up after a while. All right. Randall and Banchero. Now, like I said, Banchero's leading them in scoring, and I watched him play in that Atlanta game. This guy is really good. He's he's really good. Randall, you know, I believe to me, Randall is a good on-ball defender when he wants to be. It's not about whether he can be; it's about whether he wants to be and how long he wants to be. And I think if he's going to be guarding Banchero, he needs to be up to the task. He can hit the three. He could take 2 or 3 dribbles, pull up off the dribble. You know, he's an okay defender as well. He's a good he's just an all-around good basketball player. You know, and these guys, trust me, they're 0-3, but they were right there. So they're not limping in here. They're coming in feeling good about themselves that they were able to hold them their own against Boston and against Atlanta, but they just had difficulty closing. They coming in ready. So to me, chat, what's the matchup of the night? Is it Brunson and Cole? Is it RJ Barrett and Wagner? Or is it Randall and Banchero?
It
I think
might turn.
Randall and Banchero, these are the two leading scorers for their respective teams right
It
now.
could turn into them. It could turn into Randall and Powell.
So I think tonight is the night Randall actually has an inefficient game. I'm actually hoping his shot attempts are held back from by himself, not by anyone else.
Mhm.
And he takes a defensive focus tonight, and gets up for that challenge. You still get your double digit rebounds. Get your 7 assists or 6 assists, whatever. I just have a feeling he's not gonna be on tonight, and I hope he just realizes that and focuses on the defense and impacting the game other ways. Um, and don't let him have a early career high tonight.
Listen, if I'm coaching or if I'm playing point guard and I'm with the Knicks, um, I'm giving it to Randall. Play 1, 2, and 3. You know why? I want to get this young boy in foul trouble, and I want to get
Mm,
him out the game. Get Randall on the blocks, attack the basket, everything a hoop. Let's get this guy with a couple early fouls. Let's sit him down. This is how you got to play the game from the
right,
shoulders up.
right. Take it to him. Don't be out there shooting threes, out there, finessing.
Now,
But
Make him guard.
but most
I'll say,
importantly, though, get it to him immediately and get it to him on the blocks. Concentrated effort. Like I remember, like Magic, they would start the game. Like there would be no shots
Yeah,
before they would try to get it down low, and Kareem's going for the sky hook. Like
that's true. That's
you
true. Yeah,
you you know where they setting the tone, and that's it. Even Ewing back in the day, like that's how it would start. Like you get it down low to Ewing, woo, woo, down low, and let's set a certain tone and get this guy with some physicality, some NBA physicality. Even if he don't get in foul trouble, he gonna have to work hard tonight, and that's the kind of tone I like Randall to be setting to get in this guy's head, you know, in that kind of way.
I will say this: if that is the plan, then I take back everything I just said, because I do agree with that. I mean, that's that's the way to keep Randall on the floor. Get this guy off the floor. You know what I mean? And you know, I agree with you. That's a great approach.
Let's go,
You
Tibbs.
muted. You
and
muted, Queen.
okay, thank you. And then we got Mitchell Robinson, who Tony is a little concerned about, just Paquito, a little concerned. Mitchell Robinson and Wendell Carter Jr., who's leading them in rebounds and assists. You know, thoughts on that matchup. Now, when Robinson is 7 feet, Wendell Carter is 6'10". He looks
Yeah.
shorter than that. He looks shorter
Mhm.
than that too, but he's about 6'10". Any thoughts on Mitch guarding him or just the matchup in general?
I feel like this one can go either way. I feel like this could be Mitch's best game of the year so far.
That ain't
But
saying much.
no, it isn't. It isn't. But I also think he's up for a challenge right now, because Wendell Carter can play all around the court. So Mitch may not be in the paint and in position for defensive rebounds. You know what I mean? He may. Let's hope he's not in foul trouble, because Wendell Carter is a bit elusive. But I think Mitch has the advantage. Even off the dribble, I think Mitch can recover and still get some blocks on a guy like him. Wendell will have to be in his bag tonight to beat Mitch out tonight. Let's say that he'll have to be having one of those games to beat Mitch out tonight. But I think Mitch can potentially have his best game of the night tonight too. I say double double for Mitch tonight.
I mean, what I will say about Mitch is he's defending. He's not doing it a lot, but his defense on the perimeter in the preseason, I saw it against in the Indiana game, and I'm not sure, was it the Memphis or Detroit game. I saw him out on the perimeter moving his feet. pretty well. So him out on the perimeter, I'm not as afraid as I used to be. I know his first season he was really good at it. Second, third, fourth season, not so much. This season, he's looked okay. So I'm a little less concerned about him guarding smaller guards now. Shout out to D's World of Hoops. Appreciate you rocking with us. The blocks. Because remember, they got Mo Bamba coming in on that um, second unit. They got Bobo also on that second unit as well. So they're eighth in blocks and block percentage, and we got two guys, and RJ Barrett, who loves to go to the rim, whose finishing has been questionable. Wasn't great against Memphis, much better against Detroit. In the preseason, it was pretty good. Last season, not so much, right? So, and Randall also, who takes most of his shots, you know, below the 3-point line. At least that was the case last season. So that's gonna be an issue, can be an issue in terms of them trying to finish at the rim or just finish period or shoot period against those shot blockers. Um, any thoughts in general on the matchups?
Well, I mean, just quickly on the center matchup, um, you know, I felt very confident with the acquisition of iHeart,
Hmm.
aka Baby Joker. So I'm not really worried too much about what happens with Mitch and Wendell Carter. You know, Mitch, you know, foul trouble as we've known him in his early career, still played them in game 1. And our heart stepped right in there and did what he had to do. Mo Bamba's been a little underwhelming so far this season, but he's definitely capable of strong defense, shot blocking, and having a breakout game. So, um, I just feel confident with the combination of Mitch and iHeart that, I mean, at worst, that should be a push for us. But Mitch is definitely due for a game. But Wendell Carter is a type of athletic center that could very well lead him into foul trouble again. So hopefully not.
I'm gonna say our bench is gonna be real important tonight. They need to they also need to stand out tonight. Have a game like last game, or 50 plus points from the bench would be phenomenal.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, when you look at our bench and their bench, we have players who are capable, right, of putting up 14, 16, 18, 20 points a game for sure. It's just a matter of actually doing it. Um, these are the teams so far. Again, through 2 games, I'm really happy with the Knicks assist 28.5. Ooh, top 5 in the league if I remember correctly. Orlando 19.3. Um, the shooting percentage for both teams are about the same, 46%. They're shooting better from three. The free throw percentage is about the same. We're killing with points in the paint so far this season. Second chance points is about the same, right? A 1 point off. Fast break points, we're about a point and a half. So, I mean, when you look at the team stats, rebounding, we're 47, about five, more than them. It looks kind of, and just the team stats again, they've played 3 games, we've only played 2. You know, we've had an overtime win and a blowout win. So it's kind of hard, but this is what it is. Anything stands out to you. And I just want to say to those who are in the chat, if you to subscribe, I'm going to put this link in the chat. D's World of Hoops. Um, that's the link. I'm not highlighted, so you're gonna have to cut and paste. But he has a channel. You may know him from Blanche Tears um, as well. Really, really good stuff. So if you get an opportunity, please subscribe to his channel as well. I think it's important. There's enough room for all of us as far as content creators are. And to me, I just think of it as the buffet. You just when you go to the buffet, you just choose, you just choose what you want. You're not upset that they got the spicy Szechuan shrimp and you don't eat shrimp. You just move to what you do eat, right? And
And
that's the thing that
if you're a foodie, you eat a little bit of it all. So, you
that right.
know,
Correct. So there's enough room for all content creators, and it's important, in my opinion, that we support each other and show up for each other. So um these World of Hoops, good, good stuff over there. But anything in terms of the team stat comparison that stands out for you?
I just
Yes,
wanted to add real quick. Also
sure.
go subscribe to Dope Soul Sports Talk.
Hello.
Yes, in my channel. Let me put Dope Soul Sports Talk. If you we got 303 people listening. I got my own channel for those who don't know. And if you haven't already, shoot over to Dope Soul Sports Talk. Subscribe to the channel. I do my morning shows every morning after the Knicks play. Thank you, Tony. I forget about that
You
one.
right there, Queen. I'm waiting for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
celebration.
Now
yeah.
48. Let's go.
I
Now 48. Listen, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's 52 people that are not subscribed to those Soul Sports right now. If there are 52 people, if you're not subscribed, let's get Steph to 1,000 subscribers
Tonight.
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 Tonight. Hello, tell her, and all you got to do is tell one friend. If you tell one friend, we might be at 1,100 tonight.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna drop the link. But yeah, go ahead. Anything else about these stats that stick out for you?
what sticks out to me is that we need to spank this team tonight. That's what sticks out to me. Okay, and
Are you
I'm
gonna be
not.
disappointed if we win and it's a close game? Are you gonna be disappointed?
If if we play well, we play smart, and Orlando does the same, and I can look at it, I can say, wow, Orlando played a really good game. They played a great game tonight. If that happens, I'm not disappointed.
Okay.
Most importantly, I'm not disappointed with a win because a win is a win, no matter how ugly it looks. You know, at the end of the day, we're not going to reflect on this win and how we got it. We're going to look at the scoreboard and see how many wins we got. But we need to set a certain kind of tone. It's not the quote unquote same old Knicks. It has to be established that this is a new thing. It's a new vibe. It's a new era. It's a whole new thing going on right now. And you can't set the tone like that, losing to 0-3 teams on your third game of the season with this. I'm sorry, this lineup should not be a game that we lose. And these are the type of games that we have been losing over the past years, and then the team doesn't do well. No, if we want to go to the playoffs, we want to be a 6th seed. Yo, we don't lose games like this. We give our starters an opportunity to get some rest and play some of the bench players like we did in game 2. And this team just lost to Detroit. We just spanked Detroit. So I'm not trying to hear that. We need to
I'm,
win this game.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And
No,
it
no,
don't need to and it don't need to be close. And that's how I
no
feel about
letdowns.
it.
No
Nah,
letdowns this year. This, you
yo,
know what I mean? Win the games you supposed to this year.
every
When
every team every team should be on the chalkboard for the Knicks. Every team should be on every team, like you look at the schedule, oh, we got so and so. Every team should be like that right now for the Knicks. No cakewalks. Like every shit, yo, we coming to destroy, annihilate every team like this. Sorry, that's how I'm feeling about it.
yeah. No doubt about it. Because think about it. We're not top heavy. We need everybody. For me, it's the big three: Brunson, Randall, RJ has to show up. We need our two centers to show up, and we need our bench. We need those three elements working, working well if this team is going to be successful. Because it's not like we can say, oh, well, when things are not going right, we're just going to go to this guy. That's just not us. Everybody has to be a star in their roles. Know what your role is, be a star in your role. And this is the thing for me. At what point should we start expecting guys to be consistent in their role? Like guys will have great games and then we're all happy, then they disappear for a few more. Like, at what point should we be able to say, yo, I know what I'm going to get from this guy game in and game out? Year 3, year 4, year 5? Like,
I think it's. I think. I mean, it's kind of tough a little bit with this current situation, this current roster, and this team, because I think a lot of it is going to be spread out. I think a lot of it is going to be different each night based off of the opponent. So as long as we winning,
mhm.
I want the consistency of the team more than a particular player. You know what I mean? So if somebody has to step up tonight because somebody else is off, and that's what we doing, I'm all right with that. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the best way we could possibly be, because now we're not reliant on any one, two, three people. You know what I mean? That next man up mentality, I think Tibbs preaches it, and dictating, letting the game dictate how the game goes. He preaches that as well. That being said, it may be someone else's night tonight. Next night it might be someone else. As long as we're winning and we're playing as a team, I, I'm okay with this guy having a bad night tonight, this guy having a good night tonight, etc.
Oh, I'm okay with it too. But at some point, you got to be able to know what you have in each player. Of course, people are going to have good nights, but I just feel like, and it's still early. We got to get to the point where it's not a wild card every night. We got to get to the point where, boom, I know what I'm getting from Obi. I know what I'm getting from IQ. I know what I'm getting from iHeart. I know what I'm getting from Mitch. I know what I'm getting from Randall. Every game, I know. Sure, they're gonna have a bad game, but for the most part, I know what I'm getting from those guys, statistically and otherwise. You know, so we shall see. And the reason I say that, because that's more important for us, because we don't have that guy. That's more important for us.
But
You
I
know,
think that's also why it, it it is going to be spread out more, because we don't have that guy. I think
I agree.
so. I mean,
Agree.
maybe for me, I'm saying this less statistically, as far as consistency, because I think that can change game to game. But the effort, you know what I mean? We need that every night. The rebounding, the assist as a team. You know what I mean? I don't care if nobody averages 9 assists, 10, 8 assists. You know what I mean? If we got 5 people averaging 5, you know what I mean? That's good enough for me, as opposed to
Yep.
we know this guy is our facilitator. You know what I mean? Because honestly, if it's really about the team, we're a lot harder to guard. And I'll say that even if we had the guy, sometimes it's easier to hone in on the guy and make the rest of the team beat you. If you got to make the team, if the team is going to beat you, it's a lot harder to stop, because you don't know who you're focusing on, or you focus on one guy and then the next guy kills you. So
This
that's
is
that's where I want that consistency. I want it
classic.
across the board with the team.
This will be classic to like a Patriots to New England Patriots in football. They specialize in taking away your team's best player because, like you said, Tone, it makes them an easy target. And on offense, it's like game to game unpredictability. I hate it in playing in fantasy football because you don't know which running back to start. You don't know which wide receiver to play because you know what? Game by game, Belichick is, oh, okay, I see where their weakness is. So today we're gonna highlight X running back. Oh, on that team, they have more of a weakness up the middle. So we're gonna get the other running back and run him up the middle more. So we really need to have the coaching be the key here, that we recognize where we have our strengths and weaknesses in our matchups against these teams, highlight them. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be great if we said, okay, Randall scores 20, RJ scores 22, Brunson. Yeah, but like to Tone's point, I don't really care what the numbers are. Give me consistency, give me hard work every night, and I think that if we're sharing the ball, the numbers are going to be what they're going to be in the wash, and we're going to be okay.
Well, we don't have a choice because we don't have a guy. But um, these roller hoops, I'm with you. This is not a championship contending team because you're absolutely right. This committee stuff does not work for championship contending teams. If you're a championship contending team, you need that guy, and you need more than one of them. So I'm definitely with you for that. But on this particular team, because we don't have that guy, we have to go by committee. But I still stand by you should know what you're going to get every night. And it doesn't, I'm not even talking statistically. I need to know when Quickly goes out there, we're going to get solid decision making every single night. I need to
Right.
know when Brunson goes out there, we're getting heady point guard play every single night. I need
Agreed.
to know when Randall goes out there, he's going to rebound for us and he's going to score for us every single night. I need to know that. I can't go out there be like I can count on Randall to rebound well this game, and the next game he got two. I can't. So for not for everybody, but for some guys, you do need them statistically. For RJ, Randall, and Brunson, we do need those guys statistically. I mean, it doesn't have to be 20 points every single night, but those three guys, they're gonna have to show up. So I guess I'm talking about the extremes where you know, one night, you getting this from Randall, and the next night you getting 2 points, 8 rebounds. Like that just can't happen. It cannot happen.
Hey,
you know,
well, if we winning, I could care less because that means somebody else is getting it when he's not.
but Tony, I'm not talking about one game. For up overall for a season, you cannot have your top players statistically having a good game one game and then the next like where you don't know what you're getting. I don't know if I'm explaining it right,
No, you're
but you
looking for like a baseline,
some sort of
Yeah,
baseline.
I
Like
yeah.
mean,
you
Like,
can't be hot, right? And then the next
no,
night you come in. No,
I mean, I'm looking at it right now because I'm looking at it as a game to game basis because this is only game 3. Come 20 games, I'm gonna be where you are. Regardless of the record or what. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we need some consistency here. We need. I agree, but
I need to know what I'm getting from Randall when I roll him out there.
but but
I
we
need to
not
know
gonna
what I'm
we
getting.
not gonna truly know that until we
No,
10, 20
absolutely.
games.
No,
You
no,
know
no,
what I
no.
mean?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's gonna take some time, but I'm just saying we came into this season like we couldn't even correctly like when we were talking about, and I don't want to get too off on a tangent because I want to talk about the next week's game. We were talking about how many games this team was going to win. We were like, well, if Mitch
if
does this
this,
and this
if
does
that,
this and this, that we're gonna win this. But if this person, because we didn't really know what we have in these guys, I just need that part to be over. That's all I'm saying. I just need
we,
that part to.
I know we gotta wait though. We
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. We gotta wait. All right, let's move on to next week's games, and I am super psyched because I want to know who we are. I know it's still early, but I'm super psyched. We play Orlando tonight, 0-3. Charlotte Wednesday at Madison Square Garden. They're 2-1. Without LaMelo Ball, without Miles Bridges, a lot of times you teams overcompensate, so to speak. Other guys get opportunities. And what's Clifford's the coach first name? I forget his first name, but
Steve, right?
Steve Clifford, Tom Thibodeau's brother, is back. So they're gonna be prepared. They're gonna be prepared for the game as well, and they're gonna be a defensive minded team, right? Then Friday we're at Milwaukee. Now, historically, we've played them well. Even if we didn't pull out the games, we've played them well. We're gonna be at Milwaukee. I believe that
Middleton.
Middleton is still out, with an injury. They're 2-0 as of tonight. Obviously, by the time we played them, they would have played more games. And then Cleveland, Sunday at Cleveland, 2-1. They're healthy. It's a small sample size, but through 3 games, Cleveland is top 10 in offense and defense. Through 2 games, Milwaukee is first in defense, top half of the league in offense. Charlotte, fourth in defense, 12th, top half of the league in fourth in offense, top half of the league. And again, it's early. It's early. Those things can change. But this is the test for the Knicks, right? So this game, I don't want to hear nothing but
Another reason why you got to win this game, because you got three tough matchups coming up. Three matchups where you could play hard, play well, and be 0-3 on those matchups. And those teams are quality enough where if you were 0-3, we would have to respect it.
right,
So this is why you can't afford to lose these games like tonight, that you can't
right,
lose. I got to tell
right.
you one thing though. Can't wait to see Charlotte while they're undermanned, because we need to win that game.
Right.
And Dennis Smith Jr., that was my son when he was here, but he need to
He's
get
playing
that
well.
work. But he
He's
need to
playing
get
well.
Yes,
that work.
he
He
is
need to
playing
get that
well.
work.
He's playing well.
D
He's playing
Rose,
well.
D Rose, put him in a machine. D Rose, let's go.
Dennis Smith Jr. actually is starting because the last game they played, both LaMelo Ball and Rozier was out. And Dennis Smith played very under control, made
Mm-hmm.
good decision making,
Mm-hmm.
decision make good decisions. He didn't feel like he had to dunk everything at the
Mm-hmm.
basket. He looked like a basketball player.
He did
He
that
looked
home cooking.
like right. Um,
Nah,
and the
he got to get
Knicks
this
are
work. He got to get
right,
this work. He got to get this work.
right.
Oh,
And
and,
for
and I
those,
can't and I can't wait to see Mitchell in Cleveland. Whew, I'm
who's doing
excited.
well, somebody in the chat asked, Garland as of now is still out. I think he
Sorry
was
to
it an
hear that.
eye contusion or something like that. But Garland is still out now. Whether he'll be back by Sunday, he very well might be. But right now he's out, and that means Mitch is he's playing more on the ball, ball in his hands, and his assists are up. His assists are up. So that's going to
He
be,
looked good too.
yeah, very interesting. And for those who are curious, the Knicks are seventh in both offensive rating and defensive rating over 2 games, the overtime and a blowout. By the time we get to Cleveland, when we're sitting here next week, we're going to have a larger sample size and we're going to know better who we are as a team, both offensively and defensively, at least early on. Right? Any anything else about last week's game, the game we're playing tonight, next week's game?
Now I need to see more of what we did to Detroit tonight. I don't want to look. I don't want to look too far ahead. Whatever they had, whatever their pregame meal was that they had before game two, eat the same meal before game three. Okay, and I need I need the same kind of offense, same kind of defense, same kind of sharing the ball, and and we'll deal with Charlotte, Milwaukee as they come the rest of this week, and we close out this week strong. You heard?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm only predicting today because I'm keeping it one game at a time. So we get
Stay
this one
focused.
tonight.
Stay
We get this
focused.
one tonight.
Stay focused.
Right. Well,
Queen,
we win
you,
tonight.
Queen,
We
you going
win in
on?
Charlotte.
You going out on the limb, Queen? You making your predictions for the
Yeah,
week?
yeah. We win in Orlando. We win in Charlotte.
2-1 this week.
I think Milwaukee. I think we're 2-2. So that means that what are we 1-1 now? So that means when we come back here next week, we're gonna be 3-3. When we come back here, yeah, we'll be 3-3. But listen, Sam will be doing we had to put the Queen's Court and the pregame preview together this week. But Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, before the Charlotte, Milwaukee, and Cleveland game, there will be a pregame show, right? And so then we'll be able to get into each of those matchups a bit more in depth. Any last words before we get out of here? The game is at 7:30. Tip off is usually 7:40. Any last words?
Um, DJ Shuttle, pleasure to have you back. Queen, always a pleasure to share the panel with you. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, your blackest time.
Yep. It's always a pleasure, Tony, DJ Shuttle putting in them panel hours. Appreciate you. Looking forward to your channel. Doing big things. I'll be on tomorrow, 8 a.m. on Dope Soul Sports Talk with my morning recap. Sam will be on. I think Sam will be on tonight for his the usual post game show about, I don't know, 10:30, 10:15, 10:30. Right?
Yeah, maybe a little late if he's still on the road, but it's definitely a post game tonight.
All right. And we are out of here.